Hey heroes, I am back with a really exciting interview. I've got a guest today called Rob. He's somebody who has learned from Josh and has had phenomenal success with the business model that we're talking to you about, whereby you don't have to take big risks, you don't need big costs, and all that kind of stuff that's usually associated with most online businesses. So I'm going to bring Rob on right now. We're going to have a really fun chat. And this is someone who has had amazing success here. He's a normal guy, just like myself, although I'm kind of a bit weird. But he's a normal guy who's had a lot of success. I'm going to chat to him and ask him how did he do it. So let's get going. You all right? Are you well?
I'm very well, thank you. Very well. How are you?
I'm doing great. Well, look, first of all, thanks so much for joining us today and jump on talking about how you've had this incredible success. I suppose where it's great to start out is just like find out a bit more about you. Like, how did you get into this world of Amazon? What were you doing before? Were you struck by lightning? What happened?
For me, it was pure accident, pure accident. So I have worked in the family. We've got a family furniture business. So I've been there for nearly 15 years. Towards the end, I must admit, I got a bit fed up being there. Didn't really enjoy being there. I spoke to the family, said I possibly going to start looking for another job, and then we were struck with lockdown, COVID in lockdown. So we were shut down for 3 months, and then a new Lidl opened in Staines, where I live. I don't know if you're familiar with Lidl and the middle aisle and the sort of weird stuff you get down there. So this Lidl had opened in Staines. I'd never been in one before, and my partner said, why don't you get out, go and have a look in this new Lidl. You find some weird stuff down the middle aisle. Don't come back with a load of junk. So it's like, right, okay.
And by the way, for anybody watching who's in the US or Canada, Lidl is a supermarket chain here in the UK and Ireland. So just so you know, so in the middle aisle, like Rob said, they sell all these weird different things. You could buy anything. It could be weightlifting stuff, or it could be like a canoe, basically. So
yeah,
anyway,
every week is different. Every week is different. So yeah, me and my daughter had gone over there. There was quite a queue to get in because it was their first day. And down the middle aisle, they had these kids' electric scooters, inflatable kayaks, and a few other bits. These electric scooters looked really cheap. They were like 50 quid. And the canoes were inflatable canoes. Everyone was on the river. We're by the Thames here. Everyone's down the river. The sun's shining. We're in lockdown. And these were like £20 each. Started Googling it as we were walking around, and I thought, you know what? This is like really cheap stuff. I was like, let's buy it and see if we can flip it. And she was like, yeah, all right, yeah. She was only 8, 9 at the time. So she's like, yeah, okay, yeah. So we walk back home, get the car, drive round, and we got these like 3 trolleys. I've got 2, she's got 1. And we just start piling all this stuff on, really. And I'd never done anything like this before. As I say, I just sell furniture. So we started piling it in, went to the till. My daughter was a bit like, oh, do you think they're going to say something? I was like, well, I don't know. What's they going to say? They can only say no, right? So we got to the till, bought it all. She asked how much the scooters were, the woman on the till, and she was like, oh, they're really cheap, aren't they? Yeah. So I was like, yeah. I said they're gifts for people in lockdown and kids and stuff like that. So we bought loaded up the car, and I texted a friend of mine that does a bit of buying and selling and said, look, I've got these scooters, canoes, you interested? And he said, well, I love the canoes, definitely. And I sort of sold them at £60 each. So I paid 20, sold them for 60. Didn't even bring them home. He was like, drop them around on your way back. So dropped them off. He paid me, listed the scooters on Facebook, and we sold them all like that day. Doubled our money on them. People were just coming up to the house. My daughter couldn't believe it. So in like less than 24 hours, we'd made just about £1,000. Yeah, couldn't believe it. So, started researching into buying and selling from retail as a thing. Said we were in lockdown, so I had a lot of time on my hands, and sort of got into it that way. Started looking into it.
Do you know what's interesting, Rob? I want to pick up on something there, because sometimes when people hear about this business model, like they almost want to put obstacles in their way, right? So they'll say things like, but then you bought them in that supermarket. Like, why doesn't just like everybody buy them in the supermarket? So from your perspective, I'm just interested, having done this for a long time and had a lot of success now, what do you usually see? Like, do people care? Is it a big deal?
Yeah, it's convenience as well. They don't always know. They didn't know. If my missus didn't say to me, Lidl's just opened in Staines, I wouldn't know. And the price, these electric scooters, they were selling, I paid 50, I was selling them for 100. On Amazon and Argos, they were 150. So I pitched them at a good price. I've doubled my money, and I'm still cheaper than the average retailer.
Exactly. I think that's the big thing. Convenience is big, right? And people will also, like, look, we live in a world where people have got a lot going on, so they're not going to sit there. Some people will now. Some people will check every single website under the sun. But not everybody. And so what we're doing is here, we're taking things we can buy at a lower price, and we're flipping them like you talked about. So that's how you got into it, which I love that story, by the way, because I'm delighted that it was something that you could get going with during lockdown, obviously with your business being shut down. So you had this initial moment of like, holy crap, this is something that works. I'm guessing you do what we all do, right? Start Googling around a bit. Who can help me with this? And I'm guessing you stumble across Josh somewhere along the way, who's our expert here at Marketplace Superheroes now with this. So tell me a little bit about like what were the differences? Like, did you jump straight into doing this online reselling, or did you continue doing stuff at retail? Did you do a mixture? How did you get?
So no, I was I started looking into it, and as you know, there are a few hoops that you need to jump through with Amazon and restrictions, gating levels, and stuff like that. Yeah. So I started looking onto Amazon. I was watching videos of retail arbitrage. Thought I knew what I was doing. I downloaded Buybot Pro. So I'd opened the seller account, got Buybot Pro. And toys and games, I really like toys and games. I thought they're easy to find, easy to sell. I could find them, cheaper. I could see that they were selling on Amazon for more money. Opened up my account, and I was restricted. I was gated on quite a lot. I mean, there's a lot you can sell, but there's a lot that you can't sell. I put this message out in the Buybot Pro Facebook group, and this lady messaged me, and we had a friend in common, which is my auntie. So I thought, well, I'll take her seriously. She knows, my auntie. She's not just winging it or trying to sell me something. Yeah. Said she had exactly the same struggles as me, and recommended Josh's course. Mm-hmm. So, Googled Josh, looked at a few of his YouTube channels, watched his webinar, and really liked what I saw, and signed up straight away. And the step-by-step guide and the ease of how Josh had laid it out, it just made it so easy. And then so that was it. Started spending a lot of time getting ungated in everything, literally anything I could get ungated in, I do. And I still now, I don't like restrictions. If I find a brand, or my team find a brand we can't sell, we'll find a supplier to get ungated for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's lots of great services. We've got some stuff like that we're going to put in front of people in our program to help you with that as well. So again, there's ways around some of these things. Sometimes there's not, but as you say, in many cases you can get ungated, and there's really great people out there that can help you with that. So again, let's talk a little bit about then, like, kind of as you started to grow, because I'm just kind of interested in that. I always say there's 3 levels to the business. There's like the pre-owned level, let's call it. Yeah. We've got like the local or the retail level, where you can buy stuff like you talked about, almost like at a supermarket. We can flip it online. And then we have like the online model, which is similar to the retail model, but it's online, right? Just to keep it. As you've grown, have you used all 3 of those? Have you kind of leaned more towards one of them? What's been your kind of strategy, let's just say?
So, I mean, in this game, sometimes you've got to adapt to different things, and different things happen. So, I'd sign up to Josh's course. He loves pre-owned arbitrage. Didn't even know you could sell secondhand things on Amazon. So when I very first started, a lot of it was retail. I was going around to the stores. So we were in lockdown. So it was mainly supermarkets. And as we were coming out of lockdown, I was going into stores. Didn't even really consider online. So it was mainly stores, and mainly pre-owned arbitrage. So I was doing a lot of flips from eBay and Facebook Marketplace. Really boosted the budget in the beginning. There's such good profits in pre-owned arbitrage. It's insane.
That's the thing too. Really, like, that's what gets me excited as well, because sometimes, like, especially like there's people in our community who are selling on Amazon for a while now, and like you can almost be like, sometimes I'm like too good to do that. But actually, what I love about pre-owned arbitrage, or what we call pre-owned reselling, whatever you want to call it, similar ideas, right? Is like, I like the fact that there's people out there, right, who literally have stuff lying around in their house. They just want rid of it. They just get rid of it. But then they're giving it to you for nothing, as in some cases, right? And you're really make money, because when people don't understand like what's lying around, even in their house, or even like in their parents' houses, or in friends' houses. They just want to get rid of stuff. And that, I think, is just such an interest, because especially for people, Rob, who, they don't have a lot of startup capital. And that sometimes can be a big barrier for people getting into this. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Like that is just a great way in.
Completely agree. If I started again and I only had a couple of £100, pre-owned all the way, without a doubt. The margins are, insane. I've bought Lego for £10, sold it for 150. Last Christmas, my partner found, she's good at Facebook Marketplace, and she always sends me some things that she finds.
Nice.
So she found last Christmas these big Star Wars retired Lego sets. They were £15 each. Each one sold for over 300. They didn't know they had it. They don't know what it was. They bought them for their son. The son had grown up, gone to college or university. They're in his room, and they're just clearing his room.
Were they, and just to be cleared on that, Rob, were they actually had they been opened and they put them all back?
No, they were unopened.
Wow, that's great.
That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Open boxes still would have fetched good money. You would have made a big margin. But yeah, I don't get too involved in open Lego. Only because I don't want to count all the pieces. It's too much. It's too much.
Yeah. Also, I think it's interesting about that is sometimes people get gifts as well. They were given a Lego thing, like you said, and or they were given something, and then it's just sitting around. They never open it up. It's just sitting there. I'll give you an example for me, right? I'm a big Batman fan. I love Batman. And one time, I don't know what happened to me. I had a moment where I just bought this Batman Lego thing, and I never opened it, right? I never ever opened it. And then I gave it to somebody. But now, knowing what I know now, thanks to Josh and stuff I've been learning, I could be flipping stuff like that. And even for me,
easily.
Yeah, I run all these, big businesses, quote unquote, right? But at the end of the day, I still get I can get excited about what you said a few minutes ago of when you started, you make a few grand pretty quickly. And that's the thing I want to ask you about, because sometimes people won't believe this, that you could literally, if you already have an Amazon seller account, especially, you could be in stock in less than a week, right? You can be selling in less than a week. We have proof of this as well. We did a little case study on this, but you could be making 1,000, maybe 5, maybe 10,000 within weeks of starting, depending on what you have access to. And I just want to ask you, do you agree with that? Or Stephen, you're full of shit?
100%. 100%.
Yeah, that's exciting.
The problem is, I think with people, they don't want to put they don't want to put the time in. They're scared to take that leap. They're scared to take the leap.
I wonder, I suppose, what do you think about that? Why do you think people have these fears from what you've seen? What do you think?
Security. I'd say security from the unknown, going from a regular pay job, guaranteed income coming in, to stepping away and taking that risk. I think it's the biggest problem.
And I think you can do it part-time as well, and you can scale up, right? Especially if
100%. That's exactly what I done. That's exactly what I done.
So nowadays for you then, is this your full-time gig? Are you doing other things? What does your life look like at the moment?
So I still do 2 days a week at the furniture shop because it's a family business. It's tricky. As soon as there's a chance, I will step away. It's just not for me. It wasn't before, and it's not because of the Amazon. It just wasn't. Amazon was just. I suppose it was pure luck. The Amazon, it sort of it went that way.
You made it happen too, man. You made it happen, right?
Yes, yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's some hours that were put in, and I was determined to make it work, and so I put more hours in and worked late and started early, and I loved it. I love it. You buy something for £10, sell it for 30. What is not to love?
I fully agree with you. I fully agree. And the exciting thing for us now with Josh coming into Marketplace Superheroes, and we're building this whole new program, which obviously we'll give to you, of course. The really cool thing about that is that there's people in the US going to be doing this now. There's people in the UK going to be doing this now. We're going to be able to expand our reach over time and apply this model in more countries, because obviously you're in the UK, you focus on the UK, but just for anybody watching, you can do this in the US. It's not this only works in the UK. This is even bigger, in fact, in the US, just so everyone knows watching today. But anyway, my final question for you, and thank you so much for your time. It's been a great interview, is where do you want to take this business? You want to get this to something that's really big? Because I know you're doing some pretty good numbers already. Is this something you really want to blow up, or what do you?
I've been asked this a lot with goals. At the moment, it's just to keep growing. It is to keep growing. I've got no set amount. In the beginning, you start and you want to sell something. You just want to sell your first product, right?
Yeah.
And then and then you want to start sort of getting consistency and selling sort of one thing every day or a couple of things every day, and then you want to start selling £100 a day, and you want to hit your first £10,000 month. So I've got so the goals are always changing. So I just keep growing. So I'm working a couple of days a week, so I'm still fortunate enough I don't take any money out of the business. I'm sort of over 2 years now. I've started prepping as well. Sort of opened a little mini prep center because I was, as you grow, I was using the prep center myself, and still working full time at the shop. And I was like, why am I doing this? I don't want to be here. So I scaled it back.
You can do that now. Yeah.
And brought the prep back, took on a unit round from my house. And then I thought, well, I'm at the unit, I'm prepping my stuff. I could prep other people's to cover the cost.
Well, we can send you a lot of people, I can tell you. We'll have to talk about this offline, right? For sure, because, there's a lot of people going to want your help. But, man, I just want to ask you one last question I forgot to ask, if you don't mind.
Okay.
And that is, so you were talking about a £10,000 month. And anybody watching, obviously, that's over $10,000, even though the exchange has changed a lot this year.
Yeah.
But how did it feel for you when you made your first sale, and then how did it on Amazon specifically? How did it feel when you started to hit these bigger months?
So the first sale, there's no feeling like your first sale. When you get your first sale, and I remember what it was. Again, it was actually a product from Lidl. It was a baby rocker. You stick it on the side of the pram. I think it rocks. I can't remember. I paid £20 for it, and it sold for £69.99. So it was a decent one as well. So there's definitely no feeling like it. And then I suppose that when you hit your first 10,000, and it's actually going back to the first sale. You get your first sale, and it's like, so this actually works. This process, it works. You do you see it online, and you're doing the course, but it's not until you get your first sale and you think this is actually. It works. The first 10,000 was really amazing. Really, it really was. You see people in the group and they're posting it, and you're like, I really want to do that. And I've even messaged people, especially in the early days. How do you get to 10,000? And it's a numbers game. Just keep buying, buying.
Do the same stuff that made you successful. And we obviously teach the wholesale model, the private label model as well. And it's all the same. It's you need products, you need suppliers, you need to get into stock, you need to do the thing. And I think that's the thing I take from you today as well, is you're not a talker, you're a doer. And that's how you be successful here. So, man, thank you so much. Congratulations, genuinely, for me. I know we're only getting to know each other, but I can really tell you're a really good person, and you deserve the success you're going to get. And I'm pretty sure
thank you very much.
This won't be the end of us chatting, Rob, because
hopefully not. Enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it.
Cheers, mate. Well, thank you so much. And everybody, I hope you enjoy watching today's interview, and it inspires you to get going with this model. This is great. So thanks so much, Rob. Talk soon, mate.
Thanks, Stephen. Thank you very much. Cheers.